Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So every single NBA season, one of the most fun awards to actually track is the most improved player. That's just because it's always about guys coming out of nowhere and really excelling on the basketball court and for their NBA franchise. So for today's video, I'm going to give you guys one player on every single NBA team that I think is going to be the most improved for that specific franchise. And then when we're at the end of the list, I'm going to tell you guys my most improved player candidate for the 2021 NBA season. Now, keep in mind, we're in preseason right now, so nobody really knows like what guys are going to come out of nowhere, and chances are I'll probably miss out on quite a few because it's always about like, hey, like this guy literally, like Devontae Graham last season, like nobody expected Devontae Graham to be that good, and he literally came out of nowhere, seems like Duncan Robinson, right, man? So before we get going on today's video, please drop a like on this video. It'd be greatly appreciated, and of course subscribe if you're new to the channel. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below who's a guy on your favorite team that you think is going to be much better next NBA season. Now, I've not actually gone through every single team, so this is literally just like my first initial, hey, this is what I think for this type of video. I like doing that, man. Like sometimes, like obviously, like research and all that stuff's fun to do, but this is just like gut feeling stuff, which sometimes I like to go by. So yeah, man, for the Philadelphia 76ers, my gut feeling is Matisse Thybulle. Just because, you know, like last NBA season, I mean, the defense, he's one of the best defensive players in the NBA already. That's going to continue to improve, but also I do think he's going to be more focused in the offensive side of things too. So, yeah, you're going to see his defense numbers continue to go up, but also the offense too. So I think he can definitely be a candidate for the 76ers. For the Milwaukee Bucks, I would probably have to say Donte DiVincenzo, just because this is going to be somebody next season that has something to prove. Obviously, he was part of the Bogdan Bogdanovich trade that ended up not working out later on. And, yeah, he's going to go into next season being like, hey, Bucks, like, you know, Giannis here for 5 seasons. Give me my 5-year contract. I want to be here too. I'm going to show you guys that I'm definitely worth it. So I think he's definitely going to be even better next year. And not to mention, no longer having like Eric Bledsoe on the team. You have Drew Holiday, who's kind of like a combo guard. So I do see a lot more extra minutes for Donte to actually play. For the Chicago Bulls, I think it's got to be Lauri Markkanen. I mean, in preseason at times, he's looked pretty rough so far, but I do think that he's still a fantastic basketball player, and I do think a big part of his kind of like downfall last year, or it's not as good of a season, was that Jim Boylen was using him incorrectly. Now, keep in mind, he is going to have to battle some minutes out there with their new rookie, Pat Williams, so that is something to consider, but I do think Lauri can definitely be heavily improved next year, and I think it's going to be a big-time season, just like showing like what he really is and what he could become in the NBA. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, okay, out of all this, I would probably have to say Darius Garland, I guess. I mean, Darius Garland was the 5th pick in the 2019 draft. Last year, obviously, like that was his first season playing basketball since having like a torn ACL. I don't even think he played in college at all. And yeah, I think after a season in the NBA like this, just kind of getting his feet wet and stuff, he's going to be way more improved. So he should be really solid for the Cleveland Cavaliers next season. I think he's probably the best, pick in this case. For the Boston Celtics, okay, this is going to be interesting because their team's already pretty dang good. I mean, honestly, I don't see like a ton of guys that are going to get like a lot more minutes compared to last season. I guess, you know, with Kemba Walker being out, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart probably going the starting lineup, so maybe you see some more minutes for maybe like a Grant Williams or maybe like a Romeo Langford. Langford could actually be a pretty interesting pick in this case, assuming he gets some minutes. He can't get much worse, so really like most improved. Like literally all he can do is improved, as he was 80% from 3, 35% field goal percentage last season. So he should definitely be improved, hopefully, assuming he gets some minutes. For the, oh my God, yo, my controller just literally had a stroke, guys. For the Clippers, most improved player. You know what? I ain't trying to be like a troll or nothing like that, guys, but seriously, out of everybody, I think it's got to be Luke Kennard. Now, obviously, Luke Kennard's defense is not the greatest, but as far as just being like a solid option on this team, somebody that can really give you starter minutes or be a 6-man off the bench, I do think he's going to maybe not necessarily see like an increase in his numbers, but maybe in efficiency. Maybe that field goal percentage goes up to like a 46%. Maybe his assists go up to like 5 per game. His rebounds go up, man. Just because I look at everybody else on this team, and I mean, like, assuming maybe if like Terrence Mann gets some more minutes, then I guess you can kind of say him. But there's already been kind of trade talks out there for like Lou Williams of getting traded. So if Lou gets traded away, then all of a sudden, you know, a guy like Luke Kennard's, his role on the team becomes that much heavier, right, man? For the Memphis Grizzlies, most improved player candidate for this team. Yikes. Man. I mean, once again, there's a lot of really solid players on this team, but this team's so young already. Because, like, Justice Winslow is like, how much better can he get? Like, he was already pretty damn solid for the Miami Heat. So, Dylan Brooks is already really good. I mean, dare we say Ja Morant? I mean, he goes from being rookie of the year to maybe having another big-time sophomore jump like Luka Doncic did, and he gets even better and becomes a 25 point per game, 10 assists, 5 rebound per game type of scorer / player, then yeah, that would be most improved in my opinion, man. I think that's not really a bad route to go with this. Outside of him, like maybe like a Kyle Anderson, but I feel like Anderson kind of just is who he is at this point in his career. All right, for the Atlanta Hawks, most improved, I think it's got to be Bogdan Bogdanovich. The reason I say that is because he's literally going to be the perfect 2-guard or maybe 3-guard at times for this team. He's going to have a lot of good scoring opportunities. Guys like Gallinari and Rondo are coming off the bench. So, I mean, really, it does kind of solidify as Bogdan as the second, maybe third scoring option on this team. The team's better than the Sacramento Kings, in my opinion. He's playing with a better shooting point guard in Trae Young, so that's going to help spacing and stuff like that, as opposed to playing like De'Aaron Fox. And, yeah, I think Bogdan's going to have a really solid season for the Hawks. For the Miami Heat, it's got to be Tyler Hero, man. Like, literally, Bam Adebayo, right up there himself, obviously. I mean, but I feel like Bam, like, he's already improved. Like, this guy's already fantastic. But Tyler Hero, I feel like this season, a lot of high expectations. He's going to have a lot more shot opportunities out there. Last year, what was it, 14 points, 4 rebounds? I could see him realistically becoming like a 17 to 18 point per game scorer this NBA season with an uptick in assist. For the Charlotte Hornets, okay, out of everybody on this team, I mean, like, Terry Rozier's already pretty good. Devontae Graham, like, he was already a candidate last year. Maybe like a PJ Washington. I actually feel like PJ Washington was one of the better rookies last year, but he still has a lot more room to grow as a player. I just feel like he needs some more shot attempts out there, and playing with a shot creator like LaMelo Ball, you know, a guy like Gordon Hayward that can do a lot of different things out there. There's going to be a lot of really good opportunities for PJ Washington to increase the shots and do all that. Okay, for the Utah Jazz, pretty oldish. I don't want to say an old team, but just like a team that doesn't have like a lot of like young guys where it's like, can they really improve that much more? I mean, Donovan Mitchell might go from all-star to superstar. So that's probably the best we can say for him, right? All-star to superstar, Donovan Mitchell. For the Sacramento Kings. Okay, so this team, I think it's probably got to be Marvin Bagley. Hopefully Marvin Bagley is 100% healthy going into the season, because this guy, second pick in the 2018 draft, like, I feel like we're all just waiting for this guy to really break out, but instead of breaking his damn bones in his body. But, yeah, man, he's been pretty consistent in the minutes he has played over the past 2 seasons. I mean, you know, this is kind of on like a unconditioned, already like injured a lot of time, you know, type of body, where he's still averaging 14 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist per game, man. So he really could be like a 20 and 10 guy. Who knows? For the New York Knicks, I'm going to have to go and say, this one's tough. I'm definitely between Mitchell Robinson and RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, you know, I believe he had a pretty quick start last season. It was either that or pretty slow, and then he got better as the season progressed. I feel like RJ is going to just start off good this year and have a full 82 game or 72 game, really solid season. Now, Mitchell Robinson, watching him in preseason in 2 games against the Pistons, he's great. He's still having issues fouling, though, man. Like, if he can just pull back on the fouls, not foul as much, then he's going to be a starter for this team, and he's going to be one of the best, I would say, centers in the Eastern Conference, man. There's no surprise with that happening, right? He just has to stop fouling, guys. For the Los Angeles Lakers, Kuzma? No, not Kuzma. If he gets some minutes, man, Taylon Horton Tucker. Like, literally, I hope this guy gets some minutes, gets part of the rotation this NBA season. I'm not even going to lie, man. The way I've been watching him play, like, I could legit see, like, third scoring option on this team. That's a team with Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell. Like, he's literally been playing that good in preseason. Now, that's obviously on the top end of the spectrum. We'll see what actually happens with them. But, yeah, Taylon Horton Tucker, oh, my God, looks amazing. For the Magic, in my opinion, the most improved player, Markelle Fultz, guys. He's already been looking pretty damn good in the preseason. I think this is the year he's going to let people recognize, hey, this is why I was the first pick in the 2017 draft. I mean, the jump shot's looking better. The shoulder doesn't seem to be as big of an issue. He's healthy now. I mean, come on, man. This guy, you know, before we got to the NBA was an absolute beast. That first pick for a reason, and this is the season I think we're going to see why. For the Dallas Mavericks, I guess maybe you can say like Josh Richardson. I mean, he's already been like a pretty damn solid NBA player his entire career, though. Now, last year on the Philadelphia 76ers took like a step back. I actually thought he could have been like a 20-point per game scorer, which might be a little on the high end of things, but he was really good in Miami this 2019 season. So if he can improve upon from what he did last year and be more like the 2019 version, then yeah, I would say that's the most improved player on that team. Or maybe even like a Jalen Brunson getting some more minutes out there could definitely be better too. For the Brooklyn Nets, okay, probably Karis Sliver. I mean, Karis Sliver, once again, is another guy that kind of has struggled with health throughout his NBA career. He was the same way back at Michigan when I watched him a lot. But he did have a 50-point game last season, and nobody's asking him to be like number one option. I mean, realistically, third, maybe fourth option on this team, just depending on, like when he's playing with Dinwiddie and stuff. But yeah, I think he can definitely solidify himself. But it's like, you look at the numbers. Now I kind of want to pull back on this one because he was literally a 19-point per game scorer. I don't think he gets better than that throughout his career, but who knows? I mean, maybe like a Jarrett Allen, I guess. You could see him kind of improving, becoming more like the solidified starter over DeAndre Jordan. Field goal percentage is already really good, though. But yeah, this team doesn't really have too many people. And my boy Bruce Brownlee gets some minutes, right? For the Denver Nuggets, got to be Michael Porter Jr. This guy's ready to go. The back looks like it's no longer an issue. He just has to go out there. He is that third option on this team now officially. 9 points per game. I think he's going to be an 18-point per game scorer this NBA season. For the Indiana Pacers, I would probably have to say TJ Warren. He's now, ironically, he is the best rated player on this team, but he was a 20-point per game scorer last year, which is still, I mean, absolutely fantastic, man. And it's like, we saw Bubba Warren, like maybe he averages 25 this year, but then again, Oladipo could be like the comeback player of the year on this team. Outside of those guys, maybe you see like an Aaron Holiday get like more of an opportunity, becomes more like a, because he was like a 20-point per game scorer at UCLA, before he came to the NBA, so he definitely has that potential. Has to work on his field goal efficiency, but I think he'll definitely get there. For the New Orleans Pelicans, it's got to be Lonzo Ball, man. Like, I am very afraid for Lonzo Ball this NBA season because it sounds like they're probably going to go with Eric Bledsoe as the starter, which means Lonzo's coming off the bench. Is that going to affect his confidence? I honestly think he needs to get traded, guys. I just feel like there's not really a future for him on this Pelicans team. I don't really know, but it's definitely going to be a confidence year for him where it's like, all right, like what exactly is Lonzo? And last year I thought he had some pretty solid good numbers, man. I thought those were pretty good. So he's improving every single season. For the Detroit Pistons, I think it's probably, like Jeremy Grant getting paid the $20 million. You would hope it's him for that contract. But I honestly think it's going to be Sekou Doumbouya out here just because, like, I don't know if you guys watch. Oh, my controller is literally freaking the hell out. What is going on, man? It doesn't want the Pistons to be great. But no, this kid, I hate to say the meme. He's only 19 years old. Literally just had like a 20-point game for the Pistons in the preseason. He looks fantastic. Hopefully he gets some minutes and does not get buried in the depth of the team. For the Toronto Raptors, this team has a lot of really solid candidates for it, but I think you probably got to look at OG Anunoby. Last year was the year where it's like he was returning from a major injury and still getting comfortable with the pace in the NBA and stuff, but going to his fourth season, guys, I could see that leap to not like an all-star level, but maybe just like, hey, like this is like the third or fourth option on this team for sure, and he's a pretty damn good one. I really like his game a lot. He's going to have a really improved season. For the Houston Rockets, I feel like it's got to be Christian Wood. We saw, 10 games with the Pistons last year after Andre Drummond got traded. He was averaging like 23 and 10. Now he has a chance to play with a better team, playing with James Harden, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins. It's really his opportunity to break out and just become that star that he got paid to be. For the San Antonio Spurs, a lot of good choices here. I would say it definitely has to be between Derek White, who I'm still looking to like break out even more, or of course DeJounte Murray. Out of both these guys, like DeJounte, I feel like he obviously has like improvements within his stats right here, but DeJounte is more known as like the defensive specialist guard. I feel like Derek White has like another teeter jump as a scorer in the NBA. If he can get to be like a 15, 16 point per game scorer, that would be fantastic. Outside of them, I feel like this Keldon Johnson, he's pretty solid. He was a 9-point per game scorer last year. Lonnie Walker, of course, hopefully gets some opportunities. A lot of really good options for the Spurs. For the Phoenix Suns, I think it's going to be Cam Johnson. So Cam Johnson should probably be the starting power forward, but they might actually go with Jay Crowder. But yeah, Cam Johnson's on the squad, man, and it's going to be a second season in the NBA. He's going to have a lot more shot opportunities out there. And, Mikal Bridges also will probably be the starting small forward, so he could be another little breakout candidate, really between those two guys, if you ask me. OKC Thunder, Shai's kind of already there, but with Chris Paul no longer being on this team, like Shai is going to be like the primary scorer. So you could literally see him becoming like a 25-point per game scorer and winning the award next season. I could definitely see that. So I'm going to go with Shai. Like a least like well-known pick would be like a LeGuentz Dort, who, he had like a 30-point game or whatever it was in the playoffs, which was crazy. For the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm going to go and say, this one's kind of tough, man. I feel like this team has a lot. Maybe Jarrett Culver. I feel like it's his time, man. Like this season, he was the 6th pick in the 2019 draft. He's going to have some opportunities out there. This is the season where it's like, hey, Jarrett, you're not a bust, right? So hopefully he is not that. For the Portland Trailblazers, my most improved player is going to be Gary Trent. He was already showing like signs of it in the bubble, And yeah, he's a fantastic offensive player, man. He's going to get a lot of good opportunities this season. Golden State Warriors, I'm hoping it's Andrew Wiggins. I'm hoping Andrew Wiggins, under a new head coach, can just like prove to the world that, hey, he's ready to go. Obviously, he got to play a little bit for the Warriors last season, but it wasn't the same Warriors team. So he's got Steph Curry out there with now James Wiseman, Draymond Green, hoping for an even more improved, maybe going back to like the 2017 season for Andrew Wiggins. And then for the Washington Wizards, out of all these guys, I would probably have to say I'm going to go with Rui Hachimura. I mean, he was just a rookie last year, but he's already looked really solid in the preseason. So I'm hoping he can kind of up his defense. Hopefully he doesn't get kind of thrown to the back of the scene behind Denny and Davis Bertans. Don't really know, man. But yeah, that's kind of my predictions, guys. I feel like that's pretty good for every single team. You guys let me know in the comment section below. Now, keep in mind, like I was saying, I was going with like more well-known players. There's a chance somebody like Garrison Matthews just comes out of nowhere and just starts taking over, right? But out of all these guys, my most improved player for next NBA season, you guys can bookmark this video if you would like to, is going to be the man on the Mavericks, not the Mavericks, the Magic, with an M and an A, just like Mavericks. It's going to be Markelle Fultz. I feel like Markelle Fultz is going to have an amazing NBA season. 20 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. That's literally what I'm thinking here, man. I'm hoping the best for this kid right there. I've always believed in Markelle Fultz. So that's all we got for today's video. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.